Welcome back, guys. We're talking about resentment in marriages. We're talking about anger in relationship and betrayal.
Yeah. So, are you staying? Are you leaving? Because for me, I am out the door. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I would try and understand why you've done that.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Just because I want to understand why and how could you?
Yeah.
Because when you're trying for a baby, honestly, this is with someone you trust.
Yeah.
This is someone you love. Mm-hmm. This is someone you want to start a family with. Mm-hmm. You've laid yourself down for them mm-hmm. to even have a baby with them, and they're lying mm-hmm. on your face, and they look at you every time you're just about to start trying with the baby.
maybe the guy was in it for the enjoyment, because you can imagine trying for a whole year. That means personally I'll be like, we're trying every night, so
or it could be as a result of shame.
Yeah, could be
fear.
Yeah,
because you know exactly that if you tell me, maybe you're not comfortable with it anymore.
Yeah, true.
And the only reason why somebody would hide something as crucial as that is because they're feeling some sort of shame or fear.
They have fear in them, maybe.
Or regret.
Yeah, maybe fear, which, because when you're fearful, it brings so many negative thoughts.
Yeah,
mind you, you don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
You're scared of the response from the other person.
Yeah.
I might be going through either health issues, or maybe I might have gone through trauma, or maybe I was advised badly, in regards to having kids and all that, or maybe I might have looked at my elder peers who had kids previously, and I thought to myself, wait a minute,
it's not making
I think I would not want to have kids, and then maybe that's why I had the cat. But then now, me not communicating, I think that is wrong.
I'm glad you are agreeing with me that anything could have happened.
Yeah,
because I understand that taking such a big decision at hand and going by with it and actually, doing it is quite big.
It is,
and the fact that you did it for any reason, for whatever made you do it, is okay. To that point, I can understand. But to the point where now you're not talking about it and you're lying to me, you're lying to any other person, because I feel like that's cruel. You can't be doing this to someone.
Yeah, it's being mean.
It's being mean.
And being, emotionally, I would say even abusive emotionally.
I feel like so.
Yeah, to be honest, because
if you're wanting to marry somebody and you know this is something that might come up in the future, why not talk about it? And I know you're going to say that, okay, you didn't ask, I didn't say. But now it's okay. I take that responsibility where I had not asked because I'm assuming this discussion never arose.
Yeah, most likely.
Probably it never came up, and that's why you never told me about it.
Yeah.
And you can defend yourself saying that you never asked, so I never said.
Yeah.
But we have been trying for a baby for over a year. That right there is one major cause of resentment.
Yeah. Because you'll be looking into, I've been trying to have a baby with you.
Yeah.
But then you've been lying to me.
Yeah.
So where does that put me? Where does that put my emotions?
Yeah.
Where does that put our relationship?
Yeah. Yeah.
At that point, I feel like I wish I never met you.
That's right.
I wish I wasn't in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Because for one, you've been lying to me.
Yeah.
Because resentful is having all these, wishing and, and negative thoughts of, I wish that I never
never met you even.
Yeah, I never met you, or this never actually happened.
Because I feel like that's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time.
When you're not honest with somebody who trusts you, someone who is putting their life down for you, that's not fair.
No.
And that can build a lot of resentment. And even if somebody wanted to stay, they will never be happy.
Yeah.
They will always look at you with a different eye. They will always judge you and doubt everything you do.
For sure.
Because that's a crucial part. So what were you expecting, that I will, cheat and have babies and then we will escape that discussion? Or what exactly were you hoping for? Because when you don't talk about some of these things, and the question might arise, what do people talk when they're courting?
Yeah. I think that's a very interesting point, you know?
Yeah.
Because when you're dating, I think this is where, because, nowadays, and maybe most people don't have these hard conversations, because they have their own list that they want to tick.
Yeah.
Does he have money?
Yeah, tick.
Tick.
Yeah.
Does he have a good job? Tick. But looking at long term,
is he handsome and tall?
Yeah. What is his background? How's his family like? All these things.
Yeah.
But then again, are you having the serious discussions of, I know money is of course a serious discussion.
It is vital.
Because it is vital.
Sure.
Yeah. But then again,
can this person hold conversations?
Yeah.
Can this person respect me? Is he going to love me? Because I feel like we leave the crucial details and go to things that you can actually provide for yourself.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at someone, do they have money? Are they driving this kind of car? You're ticking the wrong boxes. And that's why eventually you have all these cars and all this money living in a mansion, but you're going through hell.
You're going through a hard time
every single day. Because you can't resonate with this person.
No.
He does not respect you at all.
There's no communication.
He lies to you. There's no communication.
Yeah.
So when you're courting, these are some of the things that you need to actually discuss.
Yeah.
If you want to escape resentment, you've got to do the work from the foundation.
Yeah.
You can't just wait until later to discuss some of these things.
And it is crucial to have these hard conversations.
Yeah.
Because when you're dating somebody, as much as you have your own expectations, mind you, when you're going into marriage, right? When you're going into this relationship, you have your expectations.
You do.
Fair and square.
Yeah.
That is absolutely okay.
And that's everyone.
You have to have goals.
Yes.
You have to have standards.
Yeah. And values.
And values and integrity as well.
Yeah.
But then again, are the things that you're considering, are they just for yourself?
Yeah.
Or are they for both of us?
Yeah.
Because if I'm getting a vasectomy for me, and then I'm getting into marriage, am I communicating? Am I letting the other person know that, hey, at the long run, by the way, we will never have kids.
We'll never have kids.
You know what I mean?
You need to know this.
All this has to be discussed. And then again, when you're courting and all that, you forget to have all these hard topics, hard conversation, because you're looking into, maybe you're so keen on, the big day, the wedding, because people are so...
It's more of status.
It's more of status. It's more of, oh, did you see my wedding? Did you see so-and-so's wedding?
Yeah.
It was, it was so good. It was so big. How many people came? Did you see the cake? Did you see the entourage and all these things? Did you see the limos and all these things?
Crazy.
Now all that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at the big day.
Yeah. And you're forgetting life after that.
You're forgetting life after that.
Yeah.
Because this is one thing that you get certified. Marriage, you get certified before you get qualified.
Exactly. Very good
and
point.
you know what I mean by that.
Yeah, it's the only institution where you get a certificate before you qualify.
because we've been programmed from way back. From when we were kids. Because when we were graduating, when we were coming up as little kids, when we were growing up, going into primary school, secondary school, and unis and all that, colleges and all that. We have to get qualified before we get certified. Right? Before we receive that maid of honor, before we receive that certificate. Hey, you've actually qualified. You've been here for the last 3 years. You've been tested. You've been examined.
You've been taught.
You've been taught as well. You know, you've taken the chance to actually read about all these issues, and you are qualified.
But here,
that's why we're giving you the certificate.
In marriage, you get the certificate before you actually qualify. But the thing is, people think they know what they're doing.
I know.
And they never want to take advice. And I feel like it's very important to learn about relationships. Because a lot of people are ignoring this and you're going as per how I feel or how I want. But how you feel and how you want might not necessarily be the right thing. Because imagine somebody who is ticking all the wrong boxes and you're not considering communication, which is the big elephant in the house. You're not considering can this person sit down and converse with me? Is this person going to actually love me? You understand? So it's so crucial. And listen, if you've come this far, first of all, you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe and join the family. Let's grow this community together and educate each other, because we want to hear from you. We want to interact. That's for sure.
Because we can't do this by ourselves.
No.
We need you guys. We need to have these conversations. We need to hear from you guys. That's why we're saying subscribe and follow for more.
So guys, as we continue with this, let's first of all define resentment, because I feel like we need to understand what is resentment in a relationship. What would you say it is?
Resentment for me, I feel like these are emotions and feelings that are going through personally, but I'm not communicating. Personally, I would say it's emotions. Negative emotions towards negative
the other
emotions,
person, whereby I feel angered by them. I feel like I don't want to be in the same room with them. I feel jealousy because I believe resentment goes hand in hand with jealousy, with
anger, a lot of it.
And you just don't want this person next to you. And these emotions can be caused by anything. And one of them, lies. Like we just saw from that question or that scenario, it's so easy to be resentful when you realize or you find out that your husband, your wife, your boyfriend has been lying to you. It's so easy.
It is,
and I don't know how you recover from that, because somebody living with you for all these years and lying to you is a big deal.
It is a big deal. And like you said before, it is a deal breaker.
It is.
It is a deal breaker. But then again, you look into, the bigger picture.
Okay.
You look into the bigger picture.
Which is,
I understand whatever you lied about is very significant. But then, can we move on past that? We are here right now, but can we move forward? Because I think that is everything from that point onwards. That is the biggest question.
That is true. And how do we do that? Well, I feel like some of the things that happen in relationships are, you can look past them. You can talk them over and overcome them. But if your relationship is built on lies like that one, that's a big one. It's gonna take a lot of time for me to overcome. And mind you, I want a family you don't.
No.
You never communicated this. You've wasted my time. So I don't think such a situation you're going to recover, because already we are not on the same page.
We are not.
It's so hard to take me from wanting this to not wanting it.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
But other things like, okay, you're leaving your socks all over, you're not doing this, you've been ignoring me, we've been arguing over certain things, or we are not agreeing on kids' issues.
Yeah.
Such things, you can communicate.
You can
talk.
These are issues whereby, you can communicate and actually come up with an understanding.
Absolutely.
We come up with a plan.
Yeah.
If anything, because if, say, things are not getting done because of one or two reasons,
okay,
I can communicate. Maybe I'm not doing this because of one or two things.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should, like you're saying, if you're pointing something out, I need to, reciprocate.
Yeah.
Because some of these things, these are some of your expectations. And when you talk about resentment, these are expectations that you might have.
Yeah, that are not met.
Yeah. You want things done this way. You want a few things here and there.
Yeah.
You want to communicate, or maybe you're communicating in a certain way.
Yeah.
But how I'm receiving what you're telling me, it's completely different. How I'm interpreting it is different.
Yeah.
And if you're saying 1, 2, and I'm interpreting as 3, 4, we're not on the same page.
We are not,
because I'm not going to be actually validating what you're saying, or I'm not going to be understanding. We're not going to be on the same page. So it's actually really, really critical.
Statistics show that resentment is one of the biggest, highest killer of any relationship.
Of relationships,
Once you resent your partner, that's it. If you don't figure it out, talk it out, and know how to move forward, you actually are going to lose it.
In that scenario, resentment in that scenario, how I perceive it is having the fear, because you're resentful of something that you have an expectation, right? That either you've communicated and hasn't happened, or maybe you haven't communicated, but you're expecting me to read in between the lines.
Well, it's okay. I take responsibility for not asking questions, And anyone else, if you're not asking questions and the other person is not giving you automatic answers, you take responsibility, okay?
You have to be accountable.
You have to be accountable. But the fact that now we have been trying, or now we are doing something together, and you look like you're in it. You're pretending to be in it. You're pretending to be as well suffering from it. Meanwhile, something that I don't. That's not right.
That's not right.
That's
for
not
sure.
right. Okay.
That's not
so
good.
I feel like in every situation we are going to be in, if we don't communicate enough, if we don't bring in other in the picture, and let the other person know what you expect, we are going to have trouble.
So how I understand it is not to have resentment in relationship, and not to have all this anger and so what basically we're saying is there has to be communication.
Communication is number one, I believe.
Communication, whether something happened in the past when I was by myself, whether I made a bad decision, I need to communicate. If now I'm with this person that I'm intending to, have a future with, spend time and life with, I need to communicate. Even in the house, say you're living together, you have all these expectations. Like say before we got together, like before we got married, you had all these expectations. I had all these expectations that when we move in together, or when we marry each other, 1, 2, 3 will be happening.
Things change.
The expectations that I had are not happening. So I need to verbalize it.
You need to.
I don't need to hide in fear.
When you're not married to a magician, these people cannot just read in between.
For sure.
You're married to a human being. If you're not going to communicate, how do you expect this person to know what you want, what you're going through?
They're not going to be able to do.
They're not going to be able to do that. And it is going to be your sole responsibility to actually verbalize and tell the other person what you want.
Exactly. Don't assume.
Don't assume.
Don't assume, and don't think that, because maybe I'm gonna withdraw, because those are some of the symptoms of resentment.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna withdraw, maybe he or she will think, something is not going on right here because he's withdrawn or she's withdrawn.
Yeah.
Maybe I will try and actually figure it out.
Yeah.
That will never happen.
That's
withdrawing only makes things worse. Because remember, you haven't communicated.
Yeah.
And like you said, we're not magicians. There's no way you're going to withdraw, towards me and then put a facial expression and then you expect me to read your facial expression.
That's true. But I feel like we are, sometimes we have been conditioned to behave and respond to things in a certain way. We are products of our own, environments and circumstances.
Very true.
And this how somebody talks or communicates. Probably you giving someone silent treatment, that's all you know. So I feel like sometimes we have to extend some grace to the other person and get to understand what is going on with these people. How do they relate to issues? Because if every time something happens, all you do is give me a silent treatment, then I also can come to terms with that's how you are and maybe help you out. But then it comes down to us and help ourselves out. Because you can change how you think. You can change how you see things. You can change how you communicate. Because if you bring in, this is how I am, take me as I am. This is how I am, take me as I am.
It's not
so
good
many
enough.
People are going, that's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
This is how you are, take me as you are. But mate, this is world. How you are, and if it's all negative, we are not going to respond to negative.
Is it working?
Is it working?
Is that working between us? There's who you are, before we met and everything. There's who you had your personality, which you have even now, and I have mine.
But is it working for you?
But then if your personality and my personality always are loggerheads, always, maybe you're in a shitty mood all the time, or for some reason you have a bad attitude. And we don't want negative. we don't want negative energy.
How do we help you now? You have to change that. You have to go down deep inside you and change that. Now it's time for you guys to take a moment and think of that something or that someone. That is making you feel so resentful, so angry, and costing your own happiness.
I know.
Costing your own happiness. Because resentment is a burden that you only carry.
Only the host carries the burden.
You host the resentment.
Because remember, the other person doesn't even know you're being resentful. Doesn't even know. We can tell maybe maybe you're angry. Something is not right. We can depict maybe something is not right. But then again, we're not going to be able to help you out much.
Or we might not even care.
Exactly.
Some people don't even care if you're resenting them or if you hate them. They're just there, living their lives. So you, the host, you're the one who suffers. And the burden becomes heavy as day passes. So what is it? Are you ready to release it? Change your mindset and know that whenever you are resentful, whenever you are angry at someone, it doesn't affect them. It affects you.
It affects you more.
Basically, it's like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die.
Waiting for the other person to die.
Absolutely.
That's funny one.
Change that one.
If you have come this far, then that means you're enjoying the show.
Absolutely.
We would love to hear from you. We would love your views, your comments.
Right. So we are discussing resentment and anger plus betrayal in marriage, and some of the things that cause this. And this far we've seen that resentment is negative emotions towards your partner, your husband, your boyfriend, anyone you're in a relationship with, and feeling like your needs are not met, and other things. So now we are going to look at how can we overcome these feelings. How can we overcome resentment in a relationship for us to prosper and flourish in our relationships?
And make the relationship meaningful. So when it comes to relationship and marriage, we need to look at the reasons why we want marriages. Why do we want to be in a relationship? Why do we want to be married? What are the core values? What are the core reasons why exactly we want to be in a relationship?
Like, what's your agenda and how far do you want to take things? Because I feel like when your agenda, or when you know that you really want to be in that marriage, and this is the person I chose to be with, for better, for worse, you're going to work with them.
For sure.
And sometimes there are things that obviously you can't overlook. But there are other things that you can sit down and talk them over. And remember, the fact that we're saying in courtship, talk about all these things, there are some things that are always going to arise. Because people change. Situations in life change.
Of course.
As you grow older, your interests as well change.
For sure.
So when all these changes are happening, just be prepared that you're going to have to face this person and talk to them and go through all these seasons together, because you've chosen to be there. Because marriage and relationships are not easy.
No, they're not.
It's hard work.
It is hard work, and you got to be open-minded. Because remember, you're committing to be with this person for the long run. For the rest of your life. So if you're marrying when you're in your 20s or 30s, you're talking about long run. The long run is what? 70s, 80s, 90s, so the person that you're gonna marry when you're 20 or 30 is not the same person that you're gonna expect they're gonna be the same in their 50s, 60s and above.
Jeez, you married a .com. Now this .com has got 3 kids, and and everything
so
has changed.
you gotta be open-minded. When they change, you have to be ready to change with them. And we're talking about positive and good changes. Changes that are helpful in the relationship, not changes to actually destroy the relationship. We're talking about changes that actually are positive, changes that are meaningful to relationship. Because remember, you have an agenda. You have the reasons why you got married to this person, right? So at the long run, you need to be aware that this person is going to be changing, and I need to change with them through thick and thin on the positive issues that will arise.
And I feel like when you look at yourself, I know men don't change a lot. Probably they do change in their minds, but physically, maybe not, because the woman goes through a lot, that's for sure, in a relationship setup. And I feel like when you extend some grace and look at your husband or your partner, your wife, as well, how would I want to be treated if I was in their shoe? Or why is this thing happening? How can I help them overcome it? Because I feel like resentment is a buildup of something. It's when I feel ignored. It's when I feel like my needs are not met.
The negative emotions and the feelings.
So how about me changing maybe the way I speak to them? Or how about me changing how I see things and loosening up a little bit? Because most of this is pride and arrogance. You don't want to show me for the 5th time, because you're like, by now you should know how I like my things done. By now you should know this and that. But maybe I'm a slow learner. How do you know? Maybe sishikangi vitu haraka. So why are you getting tired of me? You said for thick, for thin, for
might as well,
you might as well carry the burden.
Keep doing it until
doing it.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
So because sometimes you find that maybe the way you're communicating is not how they understand.
Exactly. Yeah.
The way you communicate is not how I understand.
Change
so
that. Yeah.
If you're telling me to do something 3 times or 4 times,
yeah,
yeah, and the same thing is not getting done, maybe you want to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Try
changing something.
Just try changing something.
Yeah.
Maybe even instead of requesting me to do the same thing in the house like you've always done, wait until we go out. We go for a date or something like that, when we are having a good time, and just mention it politely with lots of empathy and lots of understanding. Hey, by the way, if actually you would do 1, 2, 3, it would make my day. Saying that means a lot. And you've changed the scenery, and you've changed the tone, you've changed how you actually saying it. Because maybe before you were like, oh, I've always told you to do this one thing, shouting, shouting and cursing and banging doors and all that stuff. It's just changing the scenery and even changing the tone, that you might find out, wait a minute, actually this person is calm, is not offensive, is not, they just calm, and I will resonate with that more than when you're shouting and banging doors and screaming and doing all those sorts of things.
Yeah, because I feel like that brings us to being respectful to the other person and respect their values and who they are.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we are coming in with who we are. Like I said before, this is who I am, take me as I am. But who you are and I take you as you are is not working for me.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do here? I feel like when I understand that this person is different from me and my values might not necessarily work with them.
Yeah.
And so how do we take things? We need to come to a place where we have a common ground. And me understanding that as much as I want them to respect my values and respect how I am, I also need to respect who they are and how they've grown and the way they see things. That is one.
Yeah.
Before we come down to, okay, let's now find a common goal.
Yeah.
Let's now find a common ground to stand on. Respect the other person, their values, who they are, what they want. First of all, listen, understand, respect.
Yeah.
And then now, say your other side. Work on yourself.
Yeah.
Be respectful. You can't come and change someone. You met someone when they're in their 30s and you want to change them all of a sudden.
Working on yourself.
That won't work. Yeah.
Working on yourself is paramount.
It is.
There's no way, in a family setup where you would think that if something goes wrong, it's always the other person.
No.
Like you're never at fault. You're never to blame.
Yeah.
Having that kind of perspective is actually wrong.
Yeah.
Because you need to understand that for anything to work out okay, it's an input, because you're not working as individuals.
Yeah.
You're working as a team. So if things are not working out, I have a part to play. I have a part to play whereby I need to understand myself. I need to work on myself. How I'm communicating. How am I relating with the other person. And then the other person, they have to look at it the same way as well, because they need to work on themselves. They need to be in a position whereby they can relate with me. And if I'm working on myself and you're working on yourself, or trust me,
we come in as whole.
We're coming in as a team.
Two individuals who know what they want.
Exactly.
And this brings me to the point where I say, when I come in and I know who I am, I know that I do not need you to validate me. I do not need to be clingy or needy for me to feel loved and wanted. Then I am not troublesome.
No.
I know that I'm coming here to love you. I'm not coming here because I want you to take care of me.
No.
And if you don't, I'm miserable. If you don't say I'm beautiful, if you don't say I'm looking nice today, I am, gloomy and all that. I know who I am. I I am satisfied and I'm coming to you as a whole. I've worked on myself. So you have to work on yourself first before you come to the other person. Because otherwise, you will be a burden. You'll always want this person to validate you. Because I feel like some people are being resentful because they are not being validated. They feel ignored. They feel like this person does not love me. They don't acknowledge me. They don't see me. They can't hear me. And that's basically because you're not giving yourself that. So you feel empty. And you know, when you don't give yourself something, even if the other person tries to give you, you can't reciprocate. You can't feel it.
Very true. Very true. Because for the other person, you know, to try and even, you know, fill your cup, you know, your cup has to be full as well, or maybe just a little bit full, because it cannot be completely empty. You know,
absolutely.
Something else that, you know, might actually help is seeking counseling. You know, because at times, you know, you're going through a tough time. At times you're going through a hard time, and your friend might not necessarily have gone through it, or your friend might not necessarily, you know, be in a position to actually guide you or help you in that regard. At that point, you want to actually put yourself out there, whereby you're not fearful anymore, because you're going through something, and because you have the values that you want in the relationship, you seek help from the people who actually can help you.
Go for it. I feel like stop being scared. Go out there, talk to someone, you know, talk to your other half and tell them how you feel. And this way you're going to liberate yourself. Because honestly, going around full of resentment is not doing you any justice. Because at the end of the day, life is too short to be resentful, to be angry all the time. You have to put yourself and put your best foot forward to seek the help that you need. Don't worry that, you know, I might not find the words, I might not know what to say, or somebody will not, you know. Stop overthinking, because all that is overthinking. Just go forward, know what you want, know who you are, and get to the point that you want in life. You can only liberate yourself.
For sure.
All this resentment, anger, I don't know what in marriage or relationships, you can only liberate yourself.
For sure. Whoa.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. It is a good one.
It's a good one. We would really, really love to hear from you guys.
For sure.
I really hope you've enjoyed this show, this episode, and we would want you to tell us what you think, what your thoughts are. For sure. The things, you know, because everyone goes through a lot of stuff, you know. If whatever we've talked about resonates, you know, with you, something that you've gone through in your life, we would love to know about it, you know. For us to encourage other people, to encourage you, we would love to share your story, you know. We would love to actually for you to participate in this show and share your story, you know, to other people and encourage other people. So in this scenario, this is what happened, you know, this is what we are talking about. So what did you actually do? You know, what sort of channels did you assist yourself in, you know, or if it was your friend who was going through that, how did they manage it? How did they overcome it? We would love to hear from you. And you know, when you talk out, when you speak about a challenge that you went through and you came out a winner, you encourage another person. So if you know something, don't just stay with it. Share it out. You know how we say tell a friend to tell a friend? And that's where you help a community. That's what we want you to do. Come join us as we build this community of people who believe in themselves and people who know that anything can be changed as long as you're willing to change your mindset.
Don't forget to follow for more and subscribe.
Yeah, we are on Instagram as Faithoverfear, TikTok, Faithoverfear_AU, and here on YouTube, Faithoverfear_AU with the tails.
With the tails.
Yeah.
And what we're saying is, these are our views.
You better have your own
You better have your opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care.